And this is a Fox News alert. At least 40 United States veterans have died while waiting for medical appointments at the Phoenix Veterans Affairs Hospital in Arizona. And according to reports, many of the men were placed on a secret waiting list and were forced to wait months to see a doctor. Now, Arizona Senators John McCain and Jeff Flake are now calling for an investigation into these allegations. And Fox's own Molly Hannenberg, she's standing by tonight with the very latest in Washington. Molly.
Sean, Arizona Republican Senators McCain and Flake, as you were just mentioning, want the Senate to investigate immediately to try to figure out what's going on in the Phoenix, Arizona Veterans Affairs health system. Fox has obtained emails indicating that while the medical director of the Phoenix VA, Sharon Hellman, may have been touting the, quote, extraordinary progress in decreasing wait times for veterans last summer, others strongly disagreed. In fact, one program analyst wrote in an email to Hellman that veterans may have had their names on a waiting list for months before they get on the appointment list. He writes, quote, sure, when their appointment is created, it can be 14 days out, but we're making them wait 6 to 20 weeks to create that appointment. That is unethical and a disservice to our veterans. Congressional investigators say as many as 40 veterans may have died as a result of a delay in care. Hellman has asked the VA's Inspector General to investigate and says she never told any staff to create a secret waiting list. One Fox military analyst says this story, quote, disgusts him, and he says he hopes the full truth will come out.
There are plenty of whistleblowers that seem to be coming forward because people are feeling guilty about this and they want the story out.
The Department of Veterans Affairs here in Washington says it sent a team of clinical experts to the Phoenix facility to review its scheduling procedures and any, quote, delays in care. John?
All right, Molly, great job as always. Thanks for being with us. And here now with reaction, former Navy SEAL and U.S. Continued Service founder Jonathan Gilliam is with us. And from Concerned Vets for America, Fox News contributor Peter Hegseth is with us. Peter, I can't believe we actually send men and women off to fight, and they come back often. They risk their lives. They come back with injuries, and this is how we treat them. We put them on secret lists. They have to wait, and 40 are dying. And then seriously?
Then we follow through by breaking the promise we make to them.
Yeah.
And the problem is, Sean, this is just the tip of the iceberg. For the folks that follow the VA, this is something, unfortunately, that veterans have been talking about for years. Phoenix is particularly bad, a secret list that they knew about. They would get the appointment, put it in a file, then wait until it was 14 days out, then log it into the system so they could make it look like they were making progress. All the while, veterans are waiting and dying on the watch of the VA because they can't get the basic care this country's promised them.
Your reaction?
In the private sector, if a hospital does this or a doctor does something like this, they're looking at jail time, they're looking at malpractice lawsuits, and they may shut a hospital down because of this. The problem, which we discussed earlier, is this executive management program that we have in the government is filled with bureaucrats at the top, and just down below it, several steps below it, that they really don't give any of these things any particular thought because there's no ramifications for anything that they do.
Is it more widespread than these 40 deaths? In other words, because we've heard horror stories about some of the VA hospitals around the country. Are there more deaths? Are there other secret lists? How deep does this go? And how high up in the government in terms of awareness is this?
Sean, I would say yes, yes, and yes. We know there have been 1,000 preventable deaths since 9/11 at VA facilities. That's a fact already known. So these 40 are just more surfacing. But his point is fundamentally the most important. No one has been fired for any of this across the government because it's nearly impossible to do so. Like ours is trying to push legislation forward that would empower these folks to actually get fired so you can create accountability. I
would think that even anybody working within the system, that they would see this as corrupt. Now, I know that...
That's what it takes. Whistleblowers have been exposing this.
Well, again, but the one doctor that spoke out about it spoke out after he retired.
Yeah.
That is criminal in itself. And I know this doctor spoke out after he retired. If he knew about that, if this was the private sector, that doctor would be held liable, and he would go to jail with everybody else.
But alas, it's not. It's government gone wild. It's an unaccountable government. We can't. So we're fighting to fix it,
We have this
Sean.
series, how bad government is, how destructive it's being in people's lives, how intrusive it is. In this case, it's morally repugnant how we treat our veterans and a broken sacred promise we made them for what they've done for us.
Talk about a glimpse of Obamacare. This is single-payer, top-down, government-run health care. It's wait times, it's rationing, it's lack of choice, it's backlogs. It's exactly what you would expect from something government-run.
Sean, when I was on here after the Fort Hood shooting, I said something that the liberal media took and spun, which is that,
by the way, welcome to my world.
Right. Yeah. Which we need. I said that we need to be spending more money on the welfare of veterans than we do on welfare projects for people who don't earn their citizenship. They spun that into an immigration issue. This isn't exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about immigration. I'm talking about American citizens that don't earn their citizenship, yet we still have more money and programs going to them. We care more about developing a medical health insurance program for them than people who go out and die for their country.
Unbelievable. Guys, thanks for being with us.
Thanks,
we'll continue to follow the story.